What's going on, everybody? It is What's the Lock podcast again with week 7 picks and predictions. We I guess we usually have had a couple episodes on Thursday, but we just had a couple things going on this week. I was working and we had some stuff going on, so it is Saturday today. We're recording, and tomorrow, obviously, we have a nice slate. We do have a couple teams on the bye week. Um, Let me actually take a look and see what teams are on the bye week. But we can talk a little bit about last week if you want. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about last week at all, but it was a good week. Good week overall in the NFL. I not surprised that the Bills sold pretty much. I kind of felt like it was a trap game. Bills had not really looked great, in my opinion, and especially on defense. And yeah, I'm not surprised that it wasn't a win, but so I'm not really too. I'm happy that they're going into the bye. I think they really need that. So, how are you doing?
Yeah, it was a pretty disappointing week for uh, the Eagles too.
Yeah.
Um, Honestly, I didn't do well on much of anything, and it all kind of I feel like the Eagles losing on Thursday night definitely probably jump started the bad week there. But yeah, I mean 17-34 against the Giants, not ideal. Uh, I don't know. There was a lot that happened though. Quinyon Mitchell left the game early with a hamstring, which he is um, like playing tomorrow, which is
Uh-huh.
usually hamstrings last a couple of weeks. So I'm actually surprised that he's already back. He must not have been much of a pull like a pulled hamstring, but maybe like a cramp. But yeah, I mean the second Adoree Jackson and Kaylee Ringo started taking snaps, it was uh, tough sledding from there. They might be the worst cornerbacks I've ever seen play the game. There was one play in particular, Cam Scadaboo, like what a 1 yard run. Um, it was he ran right at Adoree Jackson, and Adoree Jackson uh, basically all he did was like shrug his shoulders at him. He didn't even try to tackle him at all. It was one of the worst effort plays I've ever seen in my life. They're horrible. They're not good at football, and I'm I don't know how they. I feel like when you see a player play that bad, it might be worth just getting them out of there. Honestly, um,
Yeah.
but also Jalen Carter also missed the game. Um, yeah, I'm also curious to see if the Giants are actually good with. They might actually be a decent team, and maybe all they needed was a younger face. Um, but
Yeah, it was I mean, the Eagles. I think. Yeah, they had some worries going on. We kind of talked about that last week. We kind of knew going into that week. That's why I mean I knew it was. That's why I knew I wasn't gonna have a bet on that game is because I just I mean if I did have a bet, it wasn't definitely wasn't on the Eagle side, but um, like I don't even remember what I think I might have played something that game, but it definitely wasn't on the Eagles. And I mean, we both had that feeling of on offense they've been struggling a little bit because I think their offensive coordinator is just he's just I don't think he's experienced enough at this point. Like he just
oh
doesn't
yeah,
seem
he's not good
experienced
either.
enough.
Yeah, he's not good either. I think
And
he's
I
straight
think
up.
that's a big problem. And then defensively, yeah, I mean, they certainly look a step below. I don't think you can really put it all on defense. I mean, you got to admit, Jackson Dart is a dog, man, and they got some dogs on that team.
No, and
Um,
and the Eagles
and
did turn over the ball a couple times. Jalen Hurst threw his first pick in the last
right,
like
so
370 something attempts, and
right,
AJ Dillon with the one of the biggest drives out there just fumbles the ball.
And then some of the injuries, like you said, kind of stacked on top of that. And that's kind of what the Bills are kind of dealing with, a lot of injuries and stuff like that. So it was a rough week, at least for Bills and Eagles fans. But honestly, I had a pretty good week betting wise. I
I mean, the
actually did pretty
officiating in
well.
the game wasn't great either,
Um,
but that doesn't make up for a 13 or a 34-17 deficit.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, there's only two teams on the bye this week. The Bills and the Ravens. So, and I can mention that I mentioned that before, and I think it's a great spot for the Bills to get a bye week. Uh, I'm sure the Ravens couldn't wait to get to a bye week so they can hopefully get Lamar back come week 8. But so yeah, I know those are two big bye weeks that we're getting. But tomorrow morning we do have another London game. I do have a bet on that game, and I have I've come to that bet after basically it's all based on Puka basically for me. So I don't know if you want to jump right into the London game, but the
Puka's
London
not
game
playing, right?
tomorrow. What?
Puka's not playing, right?
No, yeah. So I do have a bet on the Jaguars. I have the +3 and the money line. Um, I think it's a decent bet. I mean, the thing about the Jaguars is their experience with playing in London. They've done it for a couple of years now, and Trevor Lawrence has done it a number of times. So I'm not. To me, honestly, it feels more like a home game for them. And I mean, even though they kind of are labeled as the home game, but it actually feels more like a home game for them than an away game. And I think for the Rams, traveling all the way across the country, this is going to be like, it's a tough spot for them, for me, and especially without Puka, their main offensive kind of juggernaut right now. I don't know how they're going to move the ball. Maybe Kyron Williams is able to run the ball a little bit, but I still think the Jaguars are going to be able to score offensively. They've looked really good offensively through 6 weeks. So I like the Jaguars. I think it's a good spot for them, especially at plus money. So yeah, I'm on the Jaguars tomorrow.
Yeah. A couple of things uh, about the previous week. Um, Going into the next week, obviously we just mentioned Puka not playing.
Yep.
There's just something I want to know going forward. Seahawks. I read something about the Seahawks, and I read something about the running back room. Zach Charbonnet has actually been getting more snaps than Kenneth Gainwell by a couple percentage. Like I think it's like a 46-54 split at the moment, which is kind of significant considering Kenneth Gainwell was supposed to be the starting running back going into the year. So that's just something maybe to be mindful of. Um,
Yeah.
Definitely refrain from, I guess, betting on Kenneth Gainwell as far as um, if you ever to bet for him for like touches and rushing yards, might be something to think about.
Right.
But there also seem to be more of a pass first offense now, but still the split is not great. Um, we are recording this on a Saturday, so the Thursday night game had already happened. Big upset.
Oh yeah. Yeah, those
Um,
Bengals.
Bengals beat the Steelers. It was a it was a good game. It was Joe Flacco versus Aaron, 40 versus 40. Um, and Joe Flacco's 40 took the win. He looked good. 3 touchdowns, 340 yards, no picks. Aaron Rodgers threw two. I think was probably the biggest deciding factor in that was just turning over the ball. Jamar Chase had set a Bengals record for 16 receptions in a game. Um,
Yeah, I mean that's really the story of the game for really. I mean the Steelers secondary is absolutely cooked right now. And I mean, they have some injury issues, but like it's really I don't really think the secondary is like as good as people think. But I also think I mean it's Jamar Chase. I mean, Jamar Chase. If you put the ball on him, he's going to catch it and he's going to make a play. And dude is just insane. But I mean, I was actually I didn't actually bet the Bengals, but my pick was like I definitely like the Bengals over the Steelers in that one. There's some crazy stat like Mike Tomlin in primetime games against divisional rivals is like 0-7 or something like that, or like he never wins divisional primetime games. That's really bad. But yeah, that was pretty crazy. I mean, we it was a good week. Chiefs won against the Lions. You got the Packers kind of they played obviously the Bengals before. They were kind of skirted by. That's honestly why I was on the Brown or the Bengals a little bit. I thought their offense would look good because they didn't look terrible against the Packers
Yeah, I mean,
with Joe
clearly
Flacco.
Jake Browning had some of the issues. He was carrying some of the issues
Yeah. Buccaneers continue to uh, just can show why they're one of the top dogs in
with
the
three
NFL.
receivers
Really,
down, by the way. Three receivers
um,
down.
I mean, they're just a good team, man. They're a team to watch. Definitely be careful betting against the Buccaneers anytime soon. And just
Yeah. And something
they're a
moving
good team,
forward, I
man.
think Emeka Buga is also out this week.
Yeah,
So I
it's
think
it's
Mike
tough.
Evans might be back though. Is Mike Evans back? He might be back this week.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like Baker Mayfield's pretty much having like an MVP year right now.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he's
it's
had
pretty much.
no receivers like every game, which is insane. Chiefs beat the Lions. You mentioned that. I think no penalties on the Chiefs. By the way, there was three that they declined, but outside of that, um, and there was definitely penalties that should have been called. I'll say that. I did watch the game. Definitely some penalties that went uncalled as far as um that, but there's been a lot of talk about that. Um,
There's a couple close games where I feel like there's some teams where like I feel like they're still fadeable. That I thought that we think were decent, but they might be fadeable, and depending on the matchup. But we'll kind of talk about them. But like you know, there's just a few teams out there. I feel like that especially like the Chargers, for example. I feel like they're an overhyped team, and they just haven't looked good, and their injuries just keep stacking up. And now this week, I mean, we'll get into it, but they play the Colts this week. It's like, I mean,
yeah, it's
they're
hard
at
to see them
home,
winning
so
that.
it's like how I don't know how anybody is going to play the Chargers this week when you got a Colts team that's just red hot right now, coming out of the gates, and
Yeah, and Chargers are not good against the run right now. They look
yeah,
really bad against Miami. Devon Achane absolutely smashed them. So another thing is the Bears upset against the Commanders on Monday night. So obviously the Falcons beating the Bills was an upset. There was a doubleheader
yeah,
upset. Bears
I
beat
think the
the
Falcons.
Commanders.
Yeah, I definitely think the Falcons is a bigger upset, but I
Oh,
mean,
absolutely,
I mean,
100%.
we talked Commanders before the season
I think
started.
it was just the style the Falcons beat the Bills in. I mean, they controlled the whole entire game, whereas the Bears and the Commanders, like for the most part, the Bears controlled it, but then the Commanders took the lead and late, so it was kind of a battle. But Bears are a weird team because like they can come out and they can look really decent on offense, and then they can come out and look really bad on offense. That's another team where it's tricky. It's tricky to bet on them. Um,
Right.
but yeah, we
Um,
can start into the games for tomorrow.
yeah, I mean, I already gave you my pick for the London game. I like the Jaguars. Only bet on tomorrow's game is the Jaguars. And I'll probably have the Jaguars in a teaser as well with the spread. You get a +9. So, +9, +3, and the money line.
Yeah, well, I will say the obvious choice here. I don't hate the Rams, and here's why. They do have the as far as like running game, I think they probably have the upper hand. I think if when Kyron Williams can hold onto the ball, he can definitely take over a game. He can handle a ton of touches. Um, but I actually think for some reason, and I think Kyron Williams will have a decent game. But I don't ever want to count Matthew Stafford out. Um, I actually think this could actually be a really big game for Devontae Adams. He has been kind of the second string. He's definitely produced second string numbers. Um, but at the end of the day, this could be a show 'em why I'm still here type of game for Devontae Adams. So I don't want to like. I think the Jaguars could most likely cover. I think that's definitely a possibility, but um, I still think the Rams will have a decent day. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or anything like. Um, so I don't hate Devontae Adams for receptions.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I don't mind it. I don't
what's the
mind it.
line like?
It feels like a tough spot for the Rams because they're going all the way across the country now. Um, on the road, and they're not one of those teams that has experience with going like all the way across the country. Like they don't get many games like that, you know. But I mean, they yeah. I mean, to be honest, like we both, I mean, the season we both thought the Rams were a better team, but I just feel it feels like a Jaguar spot for me, just based on the where it is and how the two teams have been playing recently. The Rams also haven't shown me anything crazy either. I mean, right before the Ravens bye, I mean, you're thinking the Ravens, no shot they're winning that game at home, against the Rams a week before the bye with no Lamar. I mean, no way. And what do they do? I mean, they won by 2 touchdowns. They scored 17 points, and honestly, it was a close freaking game in the first half. If the game ended in the first half, it would have been damn close. So like I yeah, it just feels like the Rams haven't showed me much on offense where I'm like uh, really jumping to the I'm not jumping to the gate to bet on them just because I just haven't seen anything. I like the team. I just haven't seen anything recently that's proven me, given me a reason to lay -3 on the road here in this spot. That's really my biggest thing.
Yeah, and I also think Matthew Stafford favors like stronger receivers, and I think that's why you saw when I mean, and throughout the year, I think Kyron Williams has been more involved in the passing game recently. But I mean, the other when Puka went down and he went out of the game,
I mean,
Kyron
he's
Williams
like
took a
60.
huge
Puka
step in the
Nakua
receiving
is
game.
well. The thing is, Puka Nakua is like 60% of their offense when he's on the field. Like he gets the ball like all the
Yeah,
time.
and I think Kyron
Like,
Williams is the number two
so I
option as
just
far as offense.
you take
Um,
him out of the equation, and it's like Devontae Adams. Yeah, he might be able to make a play or two, but at the age he is, I haven't seen anything from him either that's showing me that he's going to have a vintage game either. And yeah, I mean it's just tough. I mean the thing is, I mean the way you stop Matthew Stafford is you pressure him, right? So I mean they're going to have to generate pressure. That's the way the Jaguars are going to have to win this game. They're going to have to generate pressure and just get him off his spot quick. Um, but honestly, I mean, I think they can do it. I think they can do it. But I think it'll be a good game. We'll see.
next game, we got the Patriots and the Titans.
Yep.
um, Patriots are looking pretty good. Uh, Drake May's
Yep.
looking really good. Spread's -7. I actually don't hate that. Tennessee Titans have been pretty bad. Um, they might be probably the
Yeah.
32nd out of 32 teams. I actually don't hate -7. Patriots have looked good enough to cover that. I know it's a pretty big line, but I mean you're talking about a touchdown game. I think that's very doable. Um, what are your thoughts on that spread? I think the Patriots can probably cover that.
Mm,
I
I
know it's tough, but the Titans are so bad. I mean, they don't move the ball. They don't have a running game. Tony Pollard hasn't even come close to touching 100 yards yet. Like they don't really have anything to go off of. And
yeah, I don't know if I'll play the Patriots spread just because of this. It's too high, but I do like the Patriots. It just feels. I mean, Mike Vrabel going back to the Titans. It feels like a revenge spot for the Patriots. Invite Mike Vrabel, and I think the way he left was bad, and who they replaced him with was bad, already being replaced, and so it feels like a Patriot spot for sure.
Drake May. I mean, also another thing about the Patriots is they don't really have a great running game either. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson is not blowing my mind. He's not blowing me away with anything. So as far as this game, I do expect to see Drake May throw quite a bit. I like his line for 220. It's minus 151, and you could probably go higher than that, but um, that's not a bad that's not a bad line. I might take that. Um, I
I
mean,
wouldn't
he's
mind
averaging
teasing the
250.
Patriots or
Stephon
something like
Diggs
that,
looks
but
great. Stephon Diggs has been tearing it up this year. He's been absolutely tearing it up. Um, so I definitely like a 220 line. I think they're going to definitely be throwing the ball. So
right. Yeah, no, I think it's a Patriot spot. I don't know if I'll lay -7, but I think it's definitely a Patriot spot for me.
yeah, I also like Hunter Henry in this game. Uh, he's had a couple big games last year with the Patriots, and this year he had one. I'm still waiting to have another one, and I think he's due for one because it has been Stephon Diggs recently, but um, I think Hunter Henry is primed for a pretty big game. So
Yeah. No, I agree, and like I said, I
for a
mean,
touchdown score, it's 190.
I think I would tease the Patriots and try to get it at like -2 or -1 or something like that, but I'm not don't love the -7. But I do think they're like the better team. They're playing better. Tennessee Titans' weakness is their pass defense, and Drake, like you said, Drake May's been looking really good, and they do have a pretty decent set of receivers. So I don't see a reason why
Yeah,
the
his
Patriots
passing
couldn't
yards
put up a
is
number.
looks really good. 220 for a
Um,
minus 151 is probably a good deal.
yeah, so I like the Patriots.
Next up, you got the Eagles versus the Vikings. Uh, Carson Wentz
I
playing against
probably
his old
won't have a
team.
bet on this game because I like the Eagles, and there's no damn way I'm laying. I'm just playing the Eagles again. I already played. I played and lost last week, and I ain't gonna do it again. Or well, what it was not last week. It was 2 weeks ago when they blew it against the freaking Broncos. I ain't doing it again.
I
So
guess the good as an Eagles fan, I guess it's really really good news that Quinyon Mitchell's going to be back out there because I'll tell you if Adoree Jackson were to start against the Vikings this week, Justin Jefferson might have the best game he's ever had. Um, he might end up with 3 touchdowns. So thank the Lord for that. As an Eagles fan, I just want to say that because again, I Justin Jefferson might hit 200 without with Quinyon Mitchell out again. So a few things. um, I said this last week, but the Eagles held a it was like a 3-player meeting last week between AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, and Saquon Barkley. It sounded like that meeting took place in a parking lot. I don't know about all that. They did have a more um, intuitive meeting as a whole offense, not just 3-player, but a whole offense um, with coaches as well. I'm hoping they right the ship, man. I mean, there's so much talent on this team. Um, I I know it's still kind of early in the season but it's also not. Like it's time to start looking a little bit better than you have. And I think a game where you can beat the Vikings, if you can beat the Vikings when you know in Minnesota, could definitely be the game that turns things around. It's just
Yeah, yeah, I
uh,
think they should be able to turn things around, but it just comes down to are they going to do it? And I'm just until I see it, I'm not gonna pay it. So, and I don't like what I'm seeing on the Viking side. I'm not in love with Carson Wentz. Who knows who's even gonna be starting? I don't is good. I gotta check the actually. I have the injury report. I should just pull it right up here. Let me check that really quick. I have the injury report. Yeah. Um, Questionable. Okay, JJ McCarthy is questionable. So
oh no,
yeah.
it's already Carson Wentz is already started. They already said that it's
Oh,
going to be
okay.
Carson Wentz tomorrow.
All right. So yeah, yeah, I don't love what I see on the Viking side. They're going to play a lot of zone defense because that's what they do. I mean, I think they can. I mean, like I said, I think they can beat them. They're going to have to. I think if they use Saquon and run the ball, they can beat them. But uh, I, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just won't pay it until I actually see it.
I do like I do like as much as I hate to say it. With how much Justin Jefferson moves around, I do like him for receptions. Plus, he's been a big focal point for Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Six plus receptions for -155. I don't hate that. Um, I also I kind of like Dallas Goedert's been tearing it up this year. Um, so to take him for receiving yards, I might do that as well.
Yeah. I don't mind that.
But
Yeah,
yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think I'll
have
be
anything
touching the
on this
spread
game so right
or
now. So
money line.
I do have a couple other bets though. Through the set, I don't have anything on this game right now at the
Yeah,
moment.
I really wish I was more confident, but I'm just not. I just need to see it to believe it, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Um,
at the end of the day, they have the talent. It just comes down to are they going to execute? And I can't. I don't want to risk my money to see if they want to execute or not, like week to week. I mean, if it's a 50-50 play, I'd rather not. like,
yeah,
yeah, shit.
I
But
do think Saquon Barkley needs to have a good game. I
he
think
needs
I
to
need
run
to
the
see
ball.
him.
But
Yeah,
we'll see if they want to. I mean, do they want to fucking drop Jalen Hurts back 38 fucking times again? We'll see. I don't know. Maybe.
I
I don't
know.
know.
It's got to be Saquon. It's got to be. It can't be anyone else. I get it. I know AJ Brown wants the ball. This is where I need to see Saquon. Because I've seen a big game from AJ Brown this year already. We've seen it. We've seen it against the Rams. Um, Devontae Smith had a big game against. Um, I think it was Denver. He had a good game, even though they lost. Um, Dallas Goedert has had a good game pretty much every game. We have yet to see Saquon have a good game. I need to see Saquon uh, like big time. I need Saquon to have a Saquon game because that could be what does it. I think if you can
Yeah.
establish that, if you can make yourself known as a running team, and you can kind of get back to where things were working last year, it has to be Saquon. It can't be anyone else. I don't care if AJ Brown gets 0 targets. I'm gonna be honest. Like he can deal with 80 or 0 targets for the shit he's pulled. like um. But yeah. Next game is the Raiders versus the Chiefs.
I mean, this is a pretty easy one. I got the Chiefs for sure. I mean, Raiders are just a dumpster fire at this
Yeah,
point,
Geno Smith
and
sucks.
I mean, the only good thing they have going is their running back, and we've talked about that already. So, I mean, there's not really much, and the Chiefs are at home. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
I
be
honestly
Chiefs.
don't hate the over. It is a division game, so I expect the Raiders to maybe throw a few punches, but I mean,
The problem is that like the Chiefs like to blitz, and I think if they're blitzing on that line and they're getting pressure on Geno Smith, I mean Geno Smith's gonna be fucked. Like he's gonna be he's gonna have a rough day.
yeah, the Chiefs are gonna win this. I don't know how much there is to bet on. I This might be one of those games where like the defense takes up half the scoring, and then all the
Yeah, I mean I
offensive
don't love
stats
so
are
11 and a half, but you can always like you can play around with it. Like you can if you really like the Patriots, take a 2.5 with the Patriots and a 3.5 with the Chiefs, or 4.5 or something like that. If you're and just kind of dumb it down for plus money. That's what I usually try to do. I always try to dumb it down a little bit. But I like the Chiefs for sure. It's definitely Chiefs. I don't see a reason. I don't see a reason why they don't win this game.
yeah. I might take
Um,
Patrick Mahomes his under for rushing yards just
oh,
because
and
I
by the
don't
way,
think he's going to be
Rasheed
feeling
Rice
much.
is back this week. We forgot to
Yeah,
mention that.
and that's
Rasheed
another thing that
Rice is
leads me
back.
to believe I don't think I want to take Patrick Mahomes' rushing yards. I might take the under just because I don't see him needing to run the ball very much this game. So that would probably be my number one bet. His running line is probably juiced because he's been running a lot. But yeah, with the addition of Rasheed Rice, Raiders have been not doing great at all on any phase. I don't foresee him running very much. Um, so that would probably be my number one pick for the game. But
Yep.
um,
We can move on
next
to the
one,
next one.
yeah, next one's Panthers versus the Jets. I'm actually pretty
We'll be
confident
betting
in the
this one.
Panthers in this one. I've just probably never been this confident in the Panthers before, but
Yeah,
I mean, I
I
definitely
bet
trust
it
Bryce
already.
Young over Justin Fields right now. Um,
Yep, I agree.
Bryce
I'm
Young
on
has
the
had a
Panthers.
couple of really nice weeks, so I told you Panthers might actually have something, and I think yeah, they've had a couple of iffy games, but at the same time, they've also had a couple of really nice games. They beat the Dallas. That was a statement win. Rico Dowdle's been going crazy. What, 200-yard games in a row. Um, and Bryce Young's also been playing good. Don't get me wrong, but Rico Dowdle has been a monster. Um, and keep in mind, this is the same team that 30 zipped the Falcons. They've had their licks this year. Like I definitely don't think they're a bottom five team anymore by any means. So I'm probably pretty confident in the Panthers, and for -118 on the money line is a pretty nice money line. Oh, let me do a
Yeah, I
money
like the
line. Yeah, let me do a
Panthers.
money line parlay going. So I'm gonna not touch the Rams. I'm gonna do the Patriots. I'm not touch the Eagles game. We'll do the fucking Chiefs because why not? And I'm pretty confident the Panthers is today, so I'll add the Panthers.
Yeah, I like the Panthers as well. I mean, they've just been playing better football as of recently. I mean, we've seen the Jets have really had no signs of life on offense. Brees Hall's been decent, but Justin Fields is just not good, and their defense has been even worse. Their defense is really bad. Before last week, and I don't even know if they forced a turnover in that Broncos game, but before last week, I know they had not forced a single turnover throughout the first 6 weeks. So, or through the
Yep.
first 5 weeks technically. So, they just have been really bad on defense. One other area I really like with the Panthers is and I don't think they're going to be like a playoff team. I think this team is still growing, but. Rico
They're
Dowdle,
on the
yeah,
right
he's been
track. Yeah.
snapping the last couple of weeks. Teteroa McMillan, receiver for the Panthers, has been
Yep.
absolutely snapping too. So yeah, I like him. I've been watching him, his stats and stuff like that. So
And the neat thing
the
about the
one
neat
thing,
thing about Bryce Young is he spreads the ball around too. I mean, he uses a couple of tight ends. I mean, he
yeah.
knows how
So
to
I was
spread
gonna
the
say,
ball.
Yeah, so I was gonna say like Sauce Gardner, and that Jets secondary. I mean, Sauce Gardner to me, and I don't know if anybody else agrees, but at this point, I mean, can we like
He's not
take a
good.
look at
He's not that
him
good.
and like can we take a look at him at least and say like he's definitely not as good as his rookie year? Like I don't know if it was like just a rookie year, rookie
That's
year
the
one
thing.
and
Like
done type thing, or like
people
but he
get
just
so
has
high
not
on
been the
people in the
same
rookie
guy.
year, and yeah, I agree totally. He was super hyped up in his rookie year. I mean, people were labeling this dude the best cornerback in the NFL. They were putting him up there with Pat Surtain, who's been, who has definitely the longevity. And it's
And
and
dude's been getting cooked this year.
it's funny
I'm
because
not gonna lie.
Quinion Mitchell, who was a lockdown corner last year, I mean, he was a complete lockdown corner last year. I don't even think he allowed a touchdown last year. Um, you see him, he was never hyped up. He wasn't even in the talks for defensive rookie of the year last year. He was completely. In fact, Cooper DeJean was probably talked about more than Quinion Mitchell. Um, and I will say one thing for sure is Quinion Mitchell has carried on this year. If you look at how many targets and receptions, receiving yards he's allowed this year, he's doing the same thing. He's locking people up when he's in coverage and he's guarding someone. They're not getting the ball. Um, I mean, it is what it is. The only person that's really got at him a little bit was Cortland Sutton, and he didn't score a touchdown on him or anything. So I think that's important to know is that he's avoiding points as well. Um, but outside of that, I mean, complete shutdown corner, complete shutdown corner, and he's carried it on to the next year. Sauce Gardner did it for 1 year, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so it's definitely Panthers for me. I like the Panthers here.
Yeah, minus
Uh,
118 is really nice too.
and I'll look at some props for sure. I haven't seen anything I particularly like, just because I don't know. Even though Sauce, we're talking crap about Sauce. I don't know exactly how well that Jets defense is going to play this week, at home.
They are probably a little bit
It
better
is
against
at
the run.
MetLife.
I will say
Um,
that. They held J.K. Dobbins last week into a really low. I think he only had like 30 rushing yards or something. So
yeah, so it could be a weird week, but
it's definitely going to
I
be a
still like the
Bryce Young
Panthers.
game for sure.
I just don't have any faith in the Jets. They're
What his
winless.
passing yards
I
are.
mean, might as well continue to fade the Jets until they lose or until they win, right?
So for Bryce Young to have 200 plus passing yards, plus 110. So the
Yeah, no,
value is
I
there
think
for passing yards.
that's not bad.
Yeah, no, 180 is minus 160. That's not bad either. I might take Bryce Young for passing yards. I think
I mean, I like Tedero and McMillan. He's been their kind of
tomato.
star young receiver so far.
I mean, if he has a good
Legette's been
game, Bryce
decent
Young has a
too,
good
but
game. So tomato.
you ready for the next one?
Yeah. Saints versus the Bears. Um, this is a tough one because the Saints have had
Yeah, it is a
have been
little
on
bit
and
tough
off,
one.
and the Bears have been on and off. They're both just those on and off teams. Um, ugh, both defenses suck. I don't hate the over honestly in this game. It might be one of those weirdly high scoring games. Um,
I'll take the Bears here at home. I mean,
yeah,
it is what
yeah.
it is. I
They
don't.
had probably the more impressive win. I think the most impressive win for the Saints was the 26-14 game they had against the Giants 2 weeks ago. Um, but the Bears just knocked off a pretty good team with Jaden Daniels starting. I mean, yeah, they didn't have Scary Terry, but uh, I mean,
I think the spread is a little bit too high though. I definitely wouldn't lay minus 3.5 with the Bears. I don't know if I would do that. I definitely won't bet that game. That's one of the games on the 1 o'clock slate. I just have no interest in. But yeah, it's Bears or pass. I don't really love that game to be honest.
yeah, I'm not even sure I'm confident in the money line, so I'm gonna probably leave that game alone. I will say I do. DeAndre Swift has had a really good season. He had a monster game last week.
He was on
Um,
the question. I think he was on the questionable report. DeAndre
if he
Swift.
does play, I like him in the passing game. He's been very used in the passing game. So I'm going to continue to use him as far as receptions if he does play, because he has been a huge passing game running back, and he always really has been. But I think the Bears, with Ben Johnson's usage of passing to running backs, I mean, you saw with Jahmyr Gibbs last year. Jahmyr Gibbs was one of the better receiving backs, and obviously you can see the regression this year with Jahmyr Gibbs too. But so I know Ben Johnson knows how to use running backs in the passing game. They do a lot of those trick plays. I mean, you saw a couple of trick plays last week. You know, the little flea flicker that um, you know DeAndre Swift did a flea flicker last week. I think he had one the week before too. They've been doing those little Ben Johnson trick plays too, and it's been working too. I think that play resulted in like a 40-yard completion or something. So um, yeah, if DeAndre Swift plays, definitely look for him in the passing game.
All right. Yeah. I got the. I mean, I don't mind the under in that game, but I probably won't play it, to be honest. Next one is Browns Dolphins. So the Browns. I was looking at the injuries and stuff like that. Just the overall injury report. The Browns had a pretty lengthy one.
I know David Njoku got shaken up last game. He came back eventually,
Yeah.
but it was a knee injury, so I'm not sure.
I mean, they're not all out. At least some of them are questionable. Yeah, but David Njoku is one of them. Jack Conklin, their right tackle. Mason Graham, their D tackle, and then Michael Hall, another D tackle. They have a couple of linemen that are out, so a little bit of a worry. But the Dolphins, I mean, they're just downward spiraling, and it feels like if the
Well,
Dolphins
they didn't
lose
play
one more
that bad
game,
against the Chargers.
I mean, it just
2-point
feels
game.
like Mike McDaniels is already one foot out the door. That's pretty much what it feels like with the
I think the
Dolphins.
Dolphins'
He just
defense was
checked
worse
out.
than their offense. I will say that. I think Darren Waller actually gave a little bit of life to the offense, and he's had a couple of big. I mean, he had a touchdown last week. His first week, he had a couple. Darren Waller's been honestly a good little lift to that offense. He's become actually really reliable, and I think that's actually helped their offense a little bit because they've had a couple of good weeks on offense as far as um, all that. I mean, Tua is still turning the ball over, but I don't think that's something you can necessarily uh, take away right away. So it's not like adding players is going to take away the dumb mistakes that he makes. But yeah, I mean, I don't hate. I guess that's probably the one bet I'll have is I'm curious to see what his line is. But Darren Waller has been pretty good. Um,
Yeah, the one worry is that for the Dolphins is that like their offensive line has not been good this year, and they were dealing with some injuries on the offensive line. I don't know if they're still dealing with those injuries, but they still weren't that good up front, anyways, to start with. And the Browns, obviously, we know that their defense is pretty damn good. So, um, I
three
yeah, I mean,
receptions for Darren Waller. I don't hate that.
I
I
mean,
do like Quinshon Judkins as well for rushing yards.
if you think the Dolphins are going to put up a number in this game, you might as well just take them over or something like that.
No,
I,
I don't think they're going to be scoring. That's why I would take receptions. I did Brown's defense is good enough to like
I
keep him
think
out
that
of the end zone.
I think it's going to be a defensive game, and I think the Browns, that's where they're going to have an advantage. The Dolphins have been terrible on defense, so I don't know in what world we can trust the Dolphins on defense when they've just been getting torched every week.
Yeah,
Rico,
that's why I like Quinshon Judkins. He had a slow game last week, but outside of that, he's been pretty good this year. And
Hill,
I can tell you they
but
don't trust Dylan Gabriel there.
well, I no, I mean I don't know if I would say that because last game he threw like 50 times. He threw almost like 60 times last game. It was insane. Like I was looking how much he threw. Like you wouldn't even believe that a guy who just made his second start threw six. Like I think it was like 50 or 60 times. Like it was legit. Like that many times. It was crazy. Let me look again actually because I remember looking at that last week. And I was like, what the? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I
Um,
mean they were getting kind of smacked around a little bit early.
23-9. It was against the Steelers. Yeah, he went 29 of 52. Now that could have been because the Browns knew that the Steelers have weakness in the secondary, but the Dolphins have the same kind of weakness. I mean, they've been getting exposed every week in the secondary too. So I don't know. It's a tough one, but I like the Browns, and I don't know if I'll play it. The price is decent for the Browns. I mean, I gotta say, -142 is not terrible at home. Um, but
But
I
yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
probably gonna stay away from the money line aspect of that. I don't love it.
To me, it just feels like the Dolphins. Yeah, they might have some, little things, pieces that look good here and there, but like the problem is that their whole team as a whole is not connected. They're not gelling. There's something deep in that locker room that is going on. Players are not checked in. They've come out and said it even, and their leaders. Tua has come out and said it. And it feels like Mike McCarthy has already one foot out the door. I mean, if you hear any of this press conferences post game last week after the loss, he's just sitting on there on like he almost just seems high, like almost like dead ass, like just baked on a post
He's
game. Like,
always been like that though. He's a
I know, but it's like he's so nonchalant. And you're like 1-5, bro. Like show some urgency. You know what I mean? Like show some will. Like he just shows none of that. And I think he's already one foot out the door, bro. I really do. I think if they lose one more game, he'll be fired definitely before the end of the season. I've already said that a couple times. Surprisingly, he hasn't been fired yet, but everybody knows he's on the freaking hot seat for sure. He's got to be on the hot seat. If there's any coach on the hot seat, it's got to be Mike McCarthy at this point.
yeah. Um. Yeah. We'll jump in the next game. Giants at Denver. Spread is +7. I actually don't hate the Giants covering +7.
Yeah.
Um. Bo Nix has not looked as good as last year.
I mean, in what
Um.
world? Yeah, I mean, in what world are we laying -7 with the Broncos? Like,
Yeah.
what?
At
What in
plus
the hell?
100 is disgusting.
They
By
won
the way.
again. They won against the Jets by 2 points. 2 points.
Yeah. And
Now,
Giants
granted, that was
are
in
looking
London.
rejuvenated right now. Even their defense looks decent. I mean, not a lot of defenses have been able to get Jalen Hurts to turn over the ball. They're the first team in uh,
It took an 18-point
over a
comeback to win
year
against the
to force
Eagles.
Jalen to throw a pick. So you got to give props where props are due. Um, plus 100 at +7, by the way, uh, is kind of crazy. I
Yeah.
actually really like. I know it's a money line parlay, but I'm gonna throw that in there just because it's how. I mean, there's a good chance Giants walk away with a win here.
No, no. There are some things pointing in the Broncos' direction, right? I mean, if let's say you're on the Broncos, I'll give it to them, right? They're at home, and it's not easy playing at Mile High. Mile High, Mile High is not easy. We know that it's high up in elevation. It's hard to breathe, and this will be Jackson Dart's first game at Mile High. So there is some some level of concern because we've seen Jackson Dart. Like I think Jackson Dart definitely shows promise. He's definitely got raw skill and he's got swagger to him. We've talked about that, but he is like still young. He's still going to make probably immature decisions at times. Part of it's going to be because he's trying to make a play, and then part of it's going to be because somebody else was trying to make a play, and they didn't, maybe somebody messed up down the line. But at the end of the day, I think they will still, because they're still young and developing. I think they're still going to have some kinks. I mean, obviously, the Broncos defense is good. I mean, I think they're
Yeah,
generally a good
and
unit.
the
So,
only thing with this is the Denver Broncos are probably better against the pass than the run. I mean, they have a really good pass rush. They have the leader in sacks, and they have pass retained in the back. But Giants, I feel like, have the upper edge in the running game. They have a fully healthy running back room. Tyrone Tracy is back. I think he came back last week. He didn't get a ton of playing time, but this is where you might see it because you made the point. It's in Denver. You get your breath taken away much easier. So to have a fully healthy running back room with Devin Singletary. You have Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scadaboo and Jackson Dart. Let's not forget. I think
Yeah.
he's a bit more athletic than Bo Nix. With that being said, I think they have the upper hand in the running game. Again, which is why I think they can absolutely cover +7 at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know if they outright win. I'm not saying that, but I think they
No,
can
I think
cover
it's
the
possible
+7.
though, but covering +7, I think is. I mean, this could be a low scoring game. I mean, think about it. Last week, uh, what was the Denver game? It was like 11-13. Like,
I
I
mean,
mean,
yeah,
even the over under is low compared to the other games. I mean, this is clearly projected to be a lower scoring game.
yeah, I don't
Um,
know if it's more like the Giants should be higher value than they are, or the Broncos are just way. I think the Broncos are just way overvalued here. I don't know how
oh yeah.
anybody lays
So
-7.
which would again
Um,
lead me to take the spread even more. I
I
would
mean, the
stay away
only
from the
thing
money
that
line,
pushes
but
it is like at home, like they're at home. Like really, that's the only thing. But yeah, that's what I got. So I mean, I would be it might be. I might play the +7 in some sort of way. Again, I might throw it in a teaser. I haven't done my teaser yet, but I'm definitely thinking about what I want to put together. So that might be one of them. I might get 2 touchdowns instead of 1. But yeah, I'm on the Giants for sure.
yeah, I have my little parlay, my little money line parlay, but I did add that spread to my money line parlay. So it's gonna be a money line parlay and some change.
I also
Um,
don't mind the under. I mean, the under is not
yeah,
bad.
again, like I said, it could very well be another low scoring game. For sure. Uh, Next game is where I think might be a high scoring game. It's a 4 o'clock game. Those usually are a little bit more. Um, what's the word?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it being a high scoring game. I like the Colts money line better. We were kind of
Oh
talking
yeah,
about the
yeah, and the
Chargers
fact that they're
earlier.
not favored in this game is disgusting. By the
Yeah, I
way,
think it's wild that they're not favored. I just haven't seen anything from the Chargers that is telling me that they're going to, be. They barely won last week against the Dolphins. They're nearly broken. They've had a couple really, really close wins this year, and they have a lot of injuries stacked up. We've talked
Omari
about how they
Hampton
can't
went on
stop the
IR, didn't
run.
he? Did Omari Hampton go on IR?
I don't know, but I know they have some. I know they have defensive injuries and offensive line injuries, so
Because I
that
know
could be an issue.
Vital was starting last week.
I mean, if he's out too, that's even worse. That's another weapon taken away, and it just.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
Colts
how many more
definitely.
how many more injuries do you need to have to like start realizing that the Chargers are not going to be as good as what we thought? I mean, how many
And they
more injuries?
always do this. They always suffer with injuries, like every
Yeah,
year. Yeah, no, I Colts at +105. I don't know. Again, I don't know how they're the underdogs in this one. They're what 5-1. Doesn't make sense, but
yeah.
I expect Jonathan Taylor to have a good game because again, Chargers have not been good against the run at all. Um, Again, Devon Achane just absolutely shredded them. Uh, yeah, look for Jonathan Taylor at least for a touchdown score too. But as far as just money line, um, I did add that to my money line parlay. Uh, yeah, yeah. I don't have much to add. I think it'll be a high scoring game though. I
It
could
could
see it
be.
being
I
over.
mean, 48 and a half, both teams are going to have to get to 24 at least. So I don't, or at least, something like that. They're
Yeah,
going to
I
have to
mean
be around
The
24.
Cardinals with Jacoby Brissett put up 27 on the Colts last week, so I think
It's
it's
not bad.
definitely doable.
I feel like it's close. I feel like it's close. It could
Yeah,
go over or under, but I feel like the line is pretty
yeah,
accurate on that. I just like
yeah.
the Colts. I think Colts at plus money is good value here. Um, yeah.
Uh,
Next one, Packers Cardinals.
yep.
Kind
Um,
of a tough one for me. Honestly, it's tough. The Packers just for me have not. I mean, they're kind of like the Broncos. I think they're better than the Broncos a little bit, but I mean, damn, what have the Packers shown in the last couple weeks that that leads me to believe that they can cover a -7. I mean, the Cardinals haven't looked great either, but at least they showed some fight last week. Everybody thought, oh, the Cardinals are going to roll over the Colts are going to roll over the Cardinals. I mean, Cardinals
Yeah,
kept it
Jacoby
close in
Brissett
that
looks better
game.
than Kyler Murray has.
Yeah, and if Jacoby Brissett is playing again, which I believe he is,
Yep.
they could put up some points, and
Which explains why the Packers are minus 380 as an away team. It
and
explains a lot.
the problem offensively for the Packers. I've seen some issues offensively. Matt LaFleur is just. It feels like he's almost got almost like just like kind of the same problems that the Eagles have. Like he just doesn't know how to kind of open up the playbook a little bit more. He runs a lot of screens, a lot of run plays. Run like pass the ball. Let Jordan Love like open up the playbook a little bit and let Jordan Love cook a little bit. I feel like they haven't unlocked the everything that they can do. And again, it's one of those teams that it's like I want to see it before I start laying juice with this team, because I know they're good, but like when am I going to start seeing this team actually going to start like smacking teams? Like I want to see them win a game by like 20 points. You know what I mean? Before I start laying -7s with them. You know what I mean? So
And with how good Jacoby Brissett looked last week, that was without Marvin Harrison. Marvin Harrison is back this week, so that's another thing. Is Jacoby Brissett has another weapon at his disposal, and he was
plus
able to put up
300 is
27
wild.
against the Colts. Let's keep that in mind. So,
Yeah, plus 300 on the money line is crazy. I, I know
I'm
the
gonna
Packers are
definitely stay away
good,
from
but
it, but
I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I'm probably gonna stay away from this game as far as like money line or spread because I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, Packers could absolutely smoke them. Jacoby Brissett could have had a one-hit wonder game. He's
They
had that
should
effect,
smoke
and
them.
he's
I
had that a
mean, it's
couple of
not like
times
they
on the
could. They
Patriots and stuff.
should.
Like,
It's like, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one.
the only thing I will say is Joshua Jacobs. I like him for a touchdown at the very least, but I'm probably gonna stay away from most of that game per se.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can move on. The next one's a division game. Commanders versus the Cowboys. um, is Terry McLaurin back? I know Debo Samuel was ruled out.
Yeah, I think he was scheduled to come back this week. But honestly, even if
I
he
don't.
is,
Well,
I
I
don't know.
don't see him. They might be without him. I don't know.
To be honest, I'm on the Cowboys either way. Um, I feel like at home, Cowboys are good at home. I have to give them credit there. At the price, I feel like it's a decent price to pay. Defense hasn't been great, but to be honest, neither defense has been good. And we're getting a 53.5 line, so that's telling me that it's going to be a high scoring game. And a high scoring game, give me the quarterback that's been playing better football, and that's Dak Prescott. If
Yeah,
we're
I think it
comparing
will be a high.
quarterbacks, and we're comparing, who's played better offensively, I'll take the Cowboys. And -125, I think is pretty fair.
Yeah, Commanders. I just confirmed Terry McLaurin and Debo Samuel are both ruled out for tomorrow. And on the flip side, Dallas gets CeeDee Lamb back. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't, maybe you could flip it, but I do think, at home it's gonna be a Cowboy spot. Especially if it's high scoring. I just trust the Cowboys offense a little bit more to get it done at the end, and
yeah, I
it could
agree.
definitely be close. I mean, I could definitely see it being a very close, like, very, come down to the last drive type of game.
I do
So
think the Cowboys play a lot better when it comes to division rivals. Um, I mean, probably their closest game that wasn't a win this year was against the Eagles in Week 2. Um, uh, yeah,
yeah,
I
oh,
probably like the Cowboys on this one too. Is it worth a money line? -125 at home.
yeah, I think it's worth it. for me.
throw that in. Yeah, I'm kind of agreeing. Again, seeing that Terry and Debo are both out, like I mean,
I wouldn't go out and parlay this with a bunch of stuff, but I like, and I'm not going to be throwing the Cowboys in any teasers or anything like that, but single bet. I think they win the game. Um, and I mean, I've just seen a little bit more off from the offense. Like I said, I've seen a little bit more from the offense of the Cowboys than I have from
I
the.
will probably take the -1.5 or -1.5.
So
Possibly. Yeah, no, I'm side Cowboys for that too. Um, yeah, next game, Sunday night game, Falcons versus the 49ers.
another kind of tough one.
Yeah.
Another kind of
Ugh.
Falcons have the number one graded defense apparently through.
I think they have like the number 2 offense too, which is crazy.
So that's pretty wild. But yeah, this is the tough one. I feel like at plus money, they're telling us that the Falcons are going to lose this game, and something tells me they are going to lose this game. But for some reason, I am not in the
I thought
49.
they were gonna lose last week, and here we are. You know,
I have to say, I mean, I will say the 49ers do have a good passing attack. But the question is, are they going to be able to pass the ball? Because the Falcons have a really good pass rush. We saw that last week against the Bills.
I think the most important thing is gonna be, are they gonna be able to stop the run? I mean, keep in mind, Fred Warner is obviously out for the season with that
Well,
nasty injury. So, are they gonna be able to stop the run?
oh, right. Well, yeah, the Niners. Yeah, I mean, Niners on defense. Yeah, that's going to be an issue too. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Unfortunately, Bijan might be primed for another big day because their best run stopper is not there. And yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing because they definitely lean on Bijan a lot now, whether it's passing or running. They rely on him a lot. Um,
yeah. I'll probably, I'll look at the Falcons in some sort of way. I think they put up some points in this game for sure. I just don't know what the 49ers are going to do exactly. So I'll be on the Falcons in some sort of way. Maybe team total over or something. I don't know. I don't think they'll. I just don't know if they're gonna win the game. That's the only thing. Just not confident in it. Um, yeah, like I said, their defense has been good. Offense, played well last week, but that was against a very struggling Bills team. And the other thing with the Bills little bit was we had a lot of injuries, even in the first quarter, and even before the game started, we had people literally going out of the game. So it was just not a good week for the Bills. That terrible spot. So,
I know the feeling, dude.
but yeah.
Another
Monday.
doubleheader on Monday. We
Yep.
have Tampa Bay versus the Lions, which should be actually a really good game. That's actually probably the best looking game out of the week, in my opinion. Um, Tampa Bay is super underdogs, plus 230. Plus 230 is crazy for a
Yeah, that's crazy.
5-1 team. The Lions, now granted, it was against the Chiefs, and there was obviously some uh, referee issues in that game, but I think overall Tampa Bay has probably looked better, even with the lack of receivers because they've been injured. Than the Lions have. Lions have still yet to get the running game really going, and that's kind of like their strong suit is the double-headed monster they have back there. And the only person who's had a really standout game is David Montgomery, and it was one game. Um, Tampa Bay has been kind of clutch and also dominating at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
um, that's a very heavy favorite. That's a very heavy favorite. Like, I get it, it's Detroit, but damn. I mean, you're talking about two. I mean, Tampa Bay has a better record. It's not like they
Well,
played booty teams
yeah.
either. Like they played a couple
Well,
of
I
good teams.
played a pretty tough slate too. But Yeah, I mean the thing is that the Lions at home are a different animal. Um, I mean, you have to think also like home teams are really strong in the NFL, especially if they're really good. Usually, um, it's going to be I and with all the injuries that the Bucks are dealing with, it's going to be a tough spot for the Bucks. But I think 6 is still too high. I think with the way that Baker has been playing, we talked about it earlier. I think he's playing like an MVP. So definitely, a possibility they can win and cover the game. Not saying they do that. I would pick the Lions to win and then Bucks to cover the spread. But um,
No,
I don't think
I'm staying
out
away
of
from that money line. I'm staying away from it.
yeah.
I think Tampa Bay. I will be taking Baker Mayfield for passing yards. I'll say that right away. Obviously they're without Bucky Irving still, and they did not run the ball very much and very well last week without him. Um, and another thing is because of the after game scuffle with Brian Branch, he is suspended a game, which would be this game. So their best DB is out. So um, and with Mike Evans back in the lineup, yeah, I definitely like Baker Mayfield for passing yards. Um, Trying to see what for 240, it's minus 128. Not bad. Yeah, I think I like Baker Mayfield for passing yards. Probably stay away from any money line or spread for that one.
Yeah, yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, I'm probably going to be on the Bucks spread in some sort of way, and then injury wise, I still have to see. I don't think I'll play anything really playoff or player props wise, especially if Igbuka is out. But yeah, I still like. I mean, like I said, Baker Mayfield has been playing like I'm the MVP. So for me, it's definitely Bucks.
Yeah. Um, and the last game of the week, Texans at Seattle. Seattle is minus 166, the minus three spread. I'm gonna parlay the Seahawks in this one. Texans had like one good game, and I think it was a fluke. Um, Seattle's looked good. They look really good all season. Nobody's been able to stop JSN, and I don't think it starts here. Um, Texans defense has been rather disappointing as far as how much firepower they have on their defense. They've been fairly disappointing. Um, and I don't think it's their fault. The offense just lacks everything at this moment. But I do like the Seahawks here. I'm pretty confident in it too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. For me, I think it's going to be a close one. I do think that the Texans defense is better. It is good. And I'm not the biggest. I mean, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Sam Darnold. So, um, I
It's hard
yeah,
to not believe in him right now, though. He's doing
no,
good.
he's been playing well. But I
They have a lot of firepower in that offense. Nobody's been
uh,
able, like I said, nobody's been able to stop JSN. Cooper Cup has had a couple of really solid games, and obviously with Zach Charbonnet taking half the touches, and they're still producing in the running game. Like Kenneth Walker's still doing stuff, and um, the Seahawks defense has been one of the. I mean, let's not forget, Jacksonville was um, a one-loss team going into last week, and they completely shut their offense down. So the Seahawks defense can make a stand too against the Texans offense, who really has not done much of anything this year except for against the Ravens, which that doesn't tell me much. So I trust the Seahawks in this way more than I trust the Texans.
yeah,
Like
no,
I'm actually
I
fairly confident in that one.
like the Seahawks. I just don't know. yeah, because I think at home it's going to be in a prime time spot. I do like the tech or the Seahawks. I think they're priced at the right amount. I just don't know if I'll be able to. I just don't know if I'll play it. I'm not sure if I'm a full believer in the team yet. In terms of like just how many, I just don't know if they're really going to get uh, a lot of wins here. So
Yeah, I'm not saying the Seahawks are a top five team. Well, although they are, I believe they are ranked a top five team in the power rankings. I will say that. But as far as just they have every upper hand against the Texans right now. Um, yeah, I firmly trust the Seahawks to win this game. Um, again, the Texans have been, uh, aside from the Ravens game, virtually non-existent. So
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
yeah, I'm
that's pretty much all. I mean, I don't really have anything for that game, so that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else you want to go over before we call it?
yeah. Well, I have this. It's a six bet parlay here. I have the Patriots at minus 355. Again, this is just a. I probably will put this in. Just kind of as a background parlay, but um, so some of the odds are they're only there because they're there. But the Patriots money line against the Titans. I got the Chiefs money line, even though the odds aren't great. I did put it in there. Carolina Panthers money line, Jets plus 7 or Jets Giants plus 7. Um, I got the Colts money line and the Seahawks, and the odds for six picks 1650 is the odds plus 1650.
It's not bad. Yeah, I don't know if you watched baseball last night, but I, what I mean, I don't know. Shohei Ohtani. Anybody who watches baseball had probably the best performance I've ever seen. Anybody's ever seen. That might have been the best single performance of
Yeah,
any.
what 10 strikeouts, 6 shutout innings, and 3 home runs. That's
That was. Yeah. I mean,
I
I don't
know I know
know that.
people like always talk about Otani, but I mean you can't. How can you not?
Dude
Um,
is insane.
yeah,
That's just insane.
he might go down as the best baseball player to ever play the game. He's yeah, I mean again 3 home runs, 10 strikeouts, 6 shutout innings. That's different. That is different.
And
In
then
in
like
in the playoffs too. In the conference finals is
yeah, I don't know
insane.
if you watch those home runs and him hit him, but it wasn't like those balls were like close home runs and like
No,
they
four.
just
What was it? 467 foot
dude,
homer.
they
Like,
went out of the park, dude.
yeah, like
Like he's smashing
no,
them.
he's yeah.
He's
Otani
just
is.
smashing them.
We are in legend legendary times with Otani for sure. I
Yeah,
definitely
he's
think he
definitely
will go down as one of, if not the best. I mean, it's the same thing with hockey. Like if you watch hockey, um, with Alex Ovechkin, um, again he topped the goal record last year with Wayne. He topped Wayne Gretzky, and he also just scored another goal yesterday. So he's not even done yet. Um, and he could be the um, first player with 900 goals ever. So in both hockey and baseball, I think we're witnessing two of maybe the all-time greats in their sport. So
yeah. I mean, I had to. I mean, that's just worth the respect. I think every sports to respect that. I mean, no matter what. I mean, that's just anytime you hear about that, man. That's just insane
yeah,
to hear about.
yeah. So I
Um,
mean, I think Alex Ovechkin will probably go down as one of, if not the best hockey players to ever live, and I think you're seeing the same thing with Otani. Um, and I mean, I don't who's the best football player to ever live. Who would you even?
I don't know.
I don't even know where I would start because there is a lot of people that were just dominant. I mean, I mean, if
I
Barry
feel like
Sanders didn't retire early, I feel like he could have definitely been in the
the
conversation.
quarterback is the most important position. So if I mean, I feel like the quarterback is gonna get most of um,
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to go right with
favorites
Tom
there, but
Brady.
yeah,
I guess that would be probably your most common answer.
yeah,
Um, there's not really a definitive answer in basketball either. I mean, well, you're going to get a lot of LeBron, you're going to get a lot of Kobe, you're going to get a lot of Michael Jordan. You're going to get a lot of those three. But there is two solid definitive answers that you'll probably get by the end of their careers for hockey and baseball. And I think um, a bulk of those answers will be Otani and uh, Alex Ovechkin.
yeah,
So definitely living in some legendary times with those two sports.
yep, yep. It'll be, and I had a pretty good day. I don't know if you bet college football too, but I had actually a pretty good day in college football. Watching
No, I
I was
didn't.
watching the Texas A&M game.
I
They're
will
pretty.
say I did call Ovi's first goal of the year yesterday. A buddy came up to me, a hockey fan, and I was telling him, I'm like, dude, Alex Ovechkin has not scored a goal yet this season. I think he's due for one. He ended up scoring, um, which was so have that, but and I think it was only like plus 140, but um, that's about it.
Do you have any bets on for tonight?
Um, I did. I wanted to. I want to see what's still up. Um, I'm thinking about Nathan McKinnon for the Avalanche. I don't know if like the game might have already started though. I might be late, but if it's
No,
worth
it's
live betting, I might.
been 9.
It's at 9. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, he did not have a point for the first time in the season last game, so uh, I mean it's Nathan McKinnon. He's um, as far as youngins, he's probably the best hockey player in the league right now. Again, aside from Alex Ovechkin, he's probably the most reliable. I'd say him, Connor McDavid's up there, um, and for him to not have a point, I think he's primed for. I mean, you might see him with two or three tonight. So, uh, yeah, that'd probably be my number one bet right now. Also, the Avalanche is actually disgusting. I think they're 4-1 or 3-1, 4-1 right now. Um, Definitely looking like a top contender as well. So, um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
also, I think the Penguins play tonight. I'm still waiting for Sidney Crosby to have a good game. He's kind of been on and off, but um, I do like him for a point too. Last year he averaged a point a game, and he has been a little bit disappointing. Um, but I think what they play the San Jose Sharks today. Um, I think I mean, the Sharks have allowed. I think they're averaging the most allowed goals right now. Uh, so I expect Sidney Crosby to get at least a point as well. But those are my two and I think that game starts at like 10, so I have time on that one if I wanted to.
I might play something. All right.
Nathan McKinnon and Sidney Crosby. Those are my top two choices for points. Um, you might be able to take McKinnon for a goal scorer. I forgot who they play. Bruins. Oh yeah, Bruins are another team that I mean, if you look at their games, they're very high scoring games. Bruins defense is not great. Um, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Avalanche is 4-0, 4-0 and 1. Um, yeah, they're kind of nasty. Uh, but yeah, so that's probably all I got for tonight.
All right. Well, if you come up with any more bets tomorrow, I'll send you a list of what I have. But if you guys have any plays, comments or any suggestions, drop them down in the comment, like, subscribe.
We might.
Definitely helps out.
I think there might be a chance that we can mix in some basketball once that season gets going. It's preseason
Oh
right
yeah,
now, but
yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. I'll play that too. Yeah. once it
The
gets
New
started.
England Patriots line just went moved a little bit,
Okay.
but
All right.
yeah, that's all I got.
Um, all right. So we'll pick it up probably. I think I actually do have off on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. So I should be available this Thursday to be. I should be around this Thursday. So
All right.
yeah, we will see you guys next week.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in again. Leave your comments if you guys have any fun little nuggets you guys wanted to get out there. Again, we'll try to mix in different sports. I think basketball will probably be a main one that we mix in. But obviously we'll talk about other stuff too. Um, I follow hockey a little bit more than Tyler does, so I'm willing to give my nuggets there. Uh,
Yeah.
Again, I think the Alex Ovechkin prediction from yesterday was pretty sick. Um, yeah, no, that's all I got.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks for
All
tuning
right.
in, and we will catch y'all next week.